I'm Will.
And I'm Mike. And this is Vandal Bros Tough Talk. Podcast is sponsored by Vandal Athletic Gear. So let's talk about the state of the UFC heavyweight division.
I think the state of the UFC heavyweight division is huge without having Francis Ngannou as the heavyweight champion.
Everybody wanted Jon Jones to come back and fight Francis. Nobody want to see Jon Jones fight Stipe. Nobody want to see Jon Jones fight
Cyril
Gane. Even though that's a good fight, don't get me wrong. That fight to me would be more in Jon Jones' favor than a fight with him and Ngannou, just because the power.
Yeah, I think people really don't look at Cyril Gane as being as dangerous as Ngannou, but he's more skilled. Now, Ngannou is dangerous because his power and he has one punch knockout. But Jon Jones is a skilled, light heavyweight. He's moving up to heavyweight now, so I don't think his speed may transfer, but I think him and Cyril Gane should be more on the same level.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I think Jon Jones, his speed should transfer because of how he's doing it. He's doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? He's taking like a year and a half.
Yeah, but remember the I want to say it was the second fight with him and Daniel Cormier. Remember how much faster Daniel Cormier was than him? He didn't look as fast as he did his first fight with Daniel Cormier because he put on that weight and he was powerlifting because he had that suspension. I don't know how much more faster he will be than Cyril Gane.
Didn't Ngannou beat Cyril Gane?
Ngannou did beat Cyril Gane, but Ngannou implemented his wrestling, which he never had before when he first fought Stipe. The second Stipe fight, he had his wrestling, and that's the same wrestling he used against Cyril Gane.
Let's put this in context. Jon Jones is a way better wrestler than Ngannou.
Oh, absolutely. Jon Jones, you've seen Jon Jones wrestle with Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier is an Olympic caliber wrestler.
So we use that same math, right?
Yes.
That same math.
So I think that's why people didn't want to see Jon Jones and Cyril Gane, because they thought Jon Jones would wrestle Cyril Gane down and beat him that way. He would wrestle Francis probably down too, but Francis is a bigger, more powerful guy.
Harder, yeah.
Yeah, he's a more powerful guy, and Francis catch him one time, he can probably put his lights out, which nobody has yet.
Jon Jones got a stronger chin than a lot of people give him credit for. If you like it or not, but the man don't have a glass chin.
No, he don't. He can take a punch. Yeah, he can.
And you don't find a lot of champions like that. One of my favorite of all time, Anderson Silva, his chin is suspect. But you had to touch it.
Yeah.
That was the hard part.
And nobody was touching Anderson Silva's chin in the early days. The only thing you was touching with Anderson Silva is when y'all touched gloves and started to fight, and that was it.
How is the business part of the UFC messing up with us wanting to see these matchups?
I'm gonna give you a couple of numbers here. Francis Ngannou was the heavyweight champion. He had a title defense. What do you think he was paid for that title defense?
So this is what number you about to give me is after he lost the title and regained it back. First fight back.
Yes.
Okay. He should be making, like Floyd Mayweather money, not to that extent, but I could see $5 million,
no,
$2 million, I could see him splitting a $5 million too, because they make a lot of money.
Yeah, but not as much as people
on the pay-per-view.
They make a lot of money on the pay-per-view. The fighters itself don't make as much money. Francis Ngannou was the heavyweight champ. His pay was $600,000.
$600,000.
$600,000. So now you have to put that with Chad Mendes' first bare knuckle debut. What you think he got paid for that bare knuckle debut?
What?
$600,000.
And Francis made how much?
$600,000 as the heavyweight champion in the UFC.
Yeah, that's suspect. I can see why Francis wanna put the hands on somebody.
And I gotta say this too. People used to give Fedor Emelianenko all this crap. He didn't want to be in the UFC. He didn't want to fight in the UFC.
Right.
Now we're starting to see why Fedor didn't want to fight in the UFC. And he even came out and said it himself. He could never work for a guy like Dana White. Look at the pay boxing get compared to the pay the UFC. Boxing don't get paid.
But boxing, when that pay you talking about though is only like the top 5%.
Okay,
and they don't get real good money like that though.
I'll tell you this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Your first boxing match, I guarantee you, you'll get paid more for your first boxing match than you will for your first MMA match.
Well, that's yeah.
So what I'm saying
right.
is a guy like Francis Ngannou and John Jones and Cyril Gane and at the stature they are, they're almost like Tyson Fury is in boxing.
Okay.
But the pay is like
not even close.
So I think that has a lot to do with gaining and keeping these big time fighters. Because I think this right here, with Ngannou leaving, I think this right here is just the start of the fall. MMA is here to stay, but I don't think it'll be as popular as it is right now because they're losing fighters because of the pay.
What do you think is going to happen? Are more UFC-like entities going to start springing up?
KFC is catching steam, man, and it's like a snowball effect right now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So Chad Mendes was a legit fighter in the UFC, and he leaves to go over to BKFC and make, I'm guessing, twice as much as he used to make in the UFC.
All right, I feel that. And since we kind of touched on it, how you feel about Jake Paul beating Anderson Silva?
I gotta respect Jake because I believe he can box. I just don't think he's the caliber of boxer that all these other people think he's the caliber of.
I'm kind of parsing between the lines. But you're saying you want to see him fight boxers.
Yes, and I want to see him fight a legit boxer. And I know he's new to boxing, but people think he's a legit boxer, so I think he needs to fight legit boxers to be credited to being a boxer. He's fighting Tommy Fury next. Hopefully that fight is happening. I like to see what happens with that. And
that's Tyson Fury, brother?
His half brother.
Oh, okay. All right, I know we got off track a little bit there, but to bring things back around, I want to go back to U Squad. Will the UFC continue to use these big name fighters? And if so, why? Be sure to shoot down a message in the comment. Remember, this podcast is sponsored by Vandal Athletic Gear.
Vandal Bros out.